This is St. Mary's Holy Faith Glasnevin, Dublin, and a description of an attempt to increase understanding of the particulate level in matter triggered by a study of nature. It was with a transition year class who were 15 to 16 years old. The pathway of learning shows how the environment was adapted to meet the needs of students regarding the concept of gaseous exchange. Models are typically used in teaching and learning, and this illustrated difficulties that students were experiencing regarding gaseous exchange, which led to an intervention which is described. Science is underpinned by building and testing models. The focus here was to look at modeling plant structure, including the root and leaf. Students worked in groups to build models that were displayed on the walls using posters. Models were also built of the Stomata, where the intention was to develop students' understanding of the area of gaseous exchange. Specifically, the level of representation was the molecular, which included the use of symbols. To do this, students were given the percentages of gases in air and asked to draw what air looked like. This produced interesting results. Our interpretations of students' drawings are as follows. Number 1 shows that gas is continuous in nature with little or no gaps. Number 2 focuses on the proportion of respective molecules in air without acknowledgement of diffusion. They appear static. Number 3 molecules represent the entire gas when associated with percentages, and movement is non-random, it's in a circular manner. Number 4 is a pie chart molecule composed of constituent gases acknowledging respective proportions in air. Again, there is no movement shown here. Number 5, the movement in a non-random direction actually becomes the gas. And number 6, oxygen is the quintessential gas associated with air, despite the students being provided with the percentage of the other composite gases. Upon reflection, students were having difficulty linking the levels of representation of matter, so before proceeding with the development of the concept of gaseous exchange, it was decided to create a teaching and learning intervention that would address the confusion students were experiencing, linking what are shown as the 3 vertices of the triangle. The aim was that the 3 levels of representation, which were currently discrete, would become integrated so that students would develop a relational understanding between them and be able to use this understanding as a platform to develop accurate models in biology at the molecular level. In order to do this, a set of worksheets were developed that included the use of mollymods, skittles, and polystyrene to aid in the understanding of how the levels of the particulate, symbolic, and macroscopic are related. Students were then introduced to Chemsense, in which storyboard animations can be created using the tools it provides. As our school had no tablets, they were borrowed from Dublin City University. Chemsense, however, is free to download. Training time on it for students is approximately 10 to 15 minutes, and students were asked to model a hydrocarbon in the gas phase. I'm showing a still shot of a condensed and expanded structure of an isomer of hexane. The idea is that just like slides are used as frames to make this video, students build molecules in a number of successive frames in Chemsense and play them so that movement of molecules in any given phase is depicted, and the experience is a dynamic visual one. I'm now going to show a clip from an animation produced using the expanded structure. In conclusion, we learned that you can assume very little, and that chemistry is a central science that underlies biological processes. Students experience some limitations to their learning, whereby They tended to perceive the concrete level, but lacked understanding of the underlying particulate level. This knowledge in turn constrained the students' ability to model gaseous exchange in leaves. There was a requirement of an intervention using models with a particular emphasis on the triplet relationship, including the production of an animation. Following intervention, the process of gaseous exchange could be revisited. The outcomes of learning were that students enjoyed making and had gained a better understanding of gaseous exchange. The next video looks at the spreading of seeds in trees.